Hello folks, my name is Ben Ulmer and this is the Nerdy Quick and Dirty. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the NQND, where we review comics, games, and all things strange in under 3 minutes. Why do we do that? So that you don't have to watch a 20-minute video and we can get back to doing whatever it is we do outside of this. Today we're talking about a webcomic that I actually discovered via the printed version at my local game store. It's the post-apocalyptic story FreakAngels by Paul Duffield and Warren Ellis. Debuting in 2008, FreakAngels actually turned a lot of heads. This is mainly due to the fact that in 2007, Ellis hinted at a story that he had written about 200 pages worth of content. Now, as a webcomic fan, that's something that's really nice to hear, because now you know that the content is going to be updated weekly, and you know that there's going to be a direction that the writer actually has in mind already planned out. Evidently something clicked, because this comic actually won 2 Eagle Awards and was nominated for the best comic at the British Fantasy Awards. So let's talk about the story. What, these? I'm just wearing them because you can't have a steampunk story without some sort of goggles of some kind. And I don't really have any of those hazmat ones with like the spikes on them that the kids that have zippers on their jeans and the doohickeys with the chains. Anyways, basically how the story goes is 23 years ago from the start of the comic, 12 kids were born. They were born at the exact same time and they all had weird powers and purple eyes and were freaky looking. Now, 6 years ago also to the start of the story is when the world ended and the apocalypse came. Now the world is in ruins and these FreakAngels, as the kids have started to call themselves. I sound like a crazy old man, like the kids these days with the zip-up pants and the FreakAngels. Basically, they're trying to do good by protecting the people that live in a place called Whitechapel. I don't want to give too much away because there's a lot going on, but I will give you a rundown of all 12 of the FreakAngels. Why am I doing this to myself? You've got KK. She's basically the steam engineer. You've got Kaz. She's also an engineer because steampunk. You've got Luke. He's just a pervert and doesn't wear pants and he's kind of creepy. You've got Miki. She's a doctor and she's probably one of my favorite characters. You've got Jack. He's the boat salvager and he goes out finding things that civilization needs. You've got Circa. She runs a brothel. It's all about free love. You've got Carl. He's the farmer and has some really big transfixion on strawberries. Kirk, he's the watchtower guy. Arcady, she's the gypsy kind of lady. Caitlin, she's the popo. And Mark, who I'm not gonna show his face because he's kind of like a bad guy. Spoilers, kind of. Sorry. So let's talk about the downsides that actually turn into good things. I don't know why I still call it the dirty. All I do is praise these things. The accents. Some of them are very hard to read, specifically Alice's, because she's got that, what I believe is like a Cockney kind of accent that's very thick. It also kind of feeds into the mentality that in post-apocalyptic land, everybody just wants to have sex. I don't know. I just think that in a post-apocalyptic world, banging is not the first thing on mine. It's the second. Beyond that, when this comic was running online, it was updating weekly with like 6 full-colored pages. It was amazing. That's why I'm going to give FreakAngels by Warren Ellis and Paul Duffield a way too many gears on pieces of clothing. Why are you doing that? Just because it's steampunk doesn't mean everything needs gears. Out of 10. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Nerdy Quick and Dirty. If you like what you saw, throw a like on it, subscribe, share with your friends. It would really help us out. If there's something you want me to review, throw a comment down below. I'll be sure to check it out. I have a Twitter and an Instagram, so if you want to see some of the things that I'm doing outside of that, that's the best way to follow me. Other than that, I think that wraps up this episode of the NQND. My name's Ben Ulmer. This has been the Nerdy Quick and Dirty, and thank you for watching. That's why I'm gonna give FreakAngels by Warren Ellis and Paul. That's why I'm gonna give FreakAngels by Warren Ellis and Paul. That's why I'm gonna give FreakAngels by Warren Ellis and Paul Duffield by I don't remember the fuck. By Warren Ellis and Paul Duffield. Fuck.